Hello everybody, this is Sneaky the Lost, and today we're going to be talking about industrial foregoing. This is a 1.12.1 mod that may be included in the Sneaky Craft pack. That basically is a reimagining of Mine Factory Reloaded. In fact, it's almost a direct copy as far as what the machines ultimately do, but it does it in a slightly different manner, and it's a really interesting process. Right now, what we're going to be talking about is the process of getting plastic, because unlike MFR, that you just had the rubber trees, you chop down the rubber trees, you get rubber, tree, wood, logs, and the raw rubber that you then have to refine into raw plastic, and then do that whole thing. In this one, you're actually making latex. And I've set up an automated system here because Dave had directed me to showing me the basics, and I got inspired again. So here's the thing. These extractors will destroy logs that they're facing eventually, and as you can see, it's actually chopping it like a tree, an automated tree chopper. You could actually see the brake marks in there, and you just saw it replaced from those block placer. Because here's the thing: these tree fluid extractors are what are making the latex. You get about 2 blocks, or 2 buckets, or 2,000 millibuckets if you prefer, worth of liquid latex per block of wood. And it doesn't seem like there's any difference in what type of wood is used. It all produces about 2 buckets of wood before the wood block is destroyed. And it doesn't matter if you've got 1 extractor or 4 of them around the block. You still end up net with the same amount of latex per block of wood. The only difference is in how fast you're going to be getting it. These industrial foregoing machines do not auto-extract. However, their sighting is kind of interesting. We'll go over that in a moment. But in effect, so what I've done is basically use servos on these fluid ducts to automatically pull from them. And you can side things using this. This is one of the things I really like about this mod, is you can really get some fine-tuned control on which sides do what on these blocks, on these machines, which is actually really awesome. I happen to really like that. So here's basically 2 of these tree extractors per wood block, and this is a block placer that has more spruce wood in it, so that as this gets consumed, it will place one and continue the process. Now then, the latex processing unit requires power, requires water, and requires liquid latex. And as you could just see, it was 75 millibuckets of liquid latex plus an appropriate amount of water, whatever that is, to make 1 tiny dry rubber. And then it takes 9 tiny dry rubber to make 1 dry rubber. No comments from the peanut gallery, please. So, and then you just smelt up you just smelt up these dry rubber pellets into the plastic that Industrial Foregoing uses for the majority of their machines and conveyor belts and everything along those lines. Now, over here is basically an automated tree farm. You've got a plant sower, which is basically your planter. You've got your plant recollector, which is basically your harvester. And then what I have done here, under here, let's go under here real quick. You'll notice this is a signalum plated item duct. This moves both items and power. And as you can see, it's connected right here to the resonant flux duct. This way, it saves me from having to have another hookup with a flux duct elsewhere. And what it is, you notice I've got these servos again, but here I'm actually using the sorting functionality of the servos. Spruce saplings are whitelisted to go down here and over into the plant sower, and then the spruce wood logs are filtered to go this direction into the block placer. And as you can see, some of them are going into the cache, and some of them into the block placer itself. It's about a 50-50 because they're equidistant. And if I wanted to, I can use filters or other things to make sure that the priority is the block placer, and the cache is only for any event the block placer is full and needs some place for the wood to continue going to. Cache is basically a drawer. It stores one item, but it stores a metric ton of that item. This is the plant enrich material injector. That's basically a fertilizer, and I just used that to kickstart this system, so I didn't have to sit there forever waiting for it to work. So that's pretty much the system. The block placer requires power, the latex processing unit requires power, the tree fluid extractors do not. So that's where the power thing ends. Kind of a little setup here. Oh, here we go. There's a tree. Oh, also one other thing. This servo is hooked up to a hardened fluid duct and is pulling out all of the sludge. Because remember, if the block fills up with sludge, it stops working. And since sludge boilers are kind of annoying, they have a tendency to wither people nearby, I just feed it straight into a nullifier, which is the equivalent of a trash can, and it is gone. And that way I don't have any of the negative effects of having sludge piling up in my system. So that's pretty much what this is here. Also, as an addendum over here to my 1800 RF tick system, Dave pointed out that you can use phytogrow in these arboreal extractors. I'm probably going to be doing an update on that in a bit, but one thing I do want to show you is the fractionating still. I've put one auxiliary reception coil that increases the speed but increases the power consumption. It keeps up almost exactly with the steam dynamo, which means I was able to upgrade these two. So these are normally doing like 480 a tick. It looks like, however, the fluid duct pipe has backed up, which is interesting. Because the energy cell has backed up. It's only about 50 million. So what I'm going to just do is pick that up, put down a new one, and then, you know what, no, not creative, because that'll just be an arbitrary amount of energy. There we go. And we'll see if that doesn't get that started going again. I've also put on an extra 2 compression dynamos back here, so we'll see how that works. But for a while there, the steam dynamo was being kept up exactly. Yeah, here we go. Looks like the tree oil has backed up here. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of real quick. Let's put in a buffer tank here. There we go. That's got that out of the way. And now we actually see the rosin is now keeping up with the steam dynamo, which means these are now resonant steam dynamos outputting 480 a tick, which means we've effectively broken the 2K mark finally on this power system. I'll do some more tweaks on that later, but really I just wanted to show you the system over here with the fluid tree extractors, the block placer, the latex processing unit, and then the automated tree farm hooked up to it. So it's an all in-house. It doesn't have any internal power generation here. We're going to assume that it's going to be hooked up to a larger power network somehow. That's what this energy cell here is representing right now. But, you know, running power out's not going to be too terribly difficult. This is a fairly compact space anyway. One thing is, because I have a mod that basically increases the rate at which the saplings decay, or the leaf decay and rapid leaf decay mod. Um, Sometimes saplings end up decaying more rapidly and are not collected by the plant collector, but not typically very many of them. So that's my little update here. Just a little bit of information on the tree fluid extractor, how to get a fully automated setup going to get your latex pellets to make rubbers. So, you know, if you are in the need for rubber, this is how you make it. So be sure to use them responsibly. And this is Sneaky the Lost, signing off.